Stone, two damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
As the 2023 college football season inches closer day by day, people always talk about the top players in the game right now, like a Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., and even a Harold Perkins. These are players that seem like they're constantly talked about by people as some top talent in the college football game right now. But as people get their eyes on the hype of players heading into seasons that are already proven or trying to predict how much more stardom they're going to accomplish as their career progresses, there's always players that are underrated going into each season that always slip through the cracks as hype goes, but always seem to show up time and time again during their respected college football campaigns. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 college football players I believe are underrated heading into the 2023 college football campaign. Before I move on, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. The first player that I'm going to be talking about in today's video is Texas Tech wide receiver Durand Bradley. Bradley, during the 2022 campaign as a redshirt freshman, was an honorable mention All Big 12 team member by the conference coaches and a second-team freshman All-American by The Athletic. He really broke out onto the college football scene, really solidifying himself, in my opinion, as one of the top receivers in the Big 12 Conference during the 2022 campaign, as he was 7th in receiving yards and 4th in receiving touchdowns for the conference. He had 51 total receptions for 744 receiving yards, averaging nearly 15 yards of reception and 6 touchdowns to the air in his 22 campaign. In my opinion, I believe Bradley is one of the best receivers returning in the Big 12 for the 2023 year. I believe he's a player that could truly break out even more as a redshirt sophomore in 2023 and potentially solidify himself as one of the top wide receivers in the game. I really like how his game is, being a tall, lengthy receiver at 6'5", 220 pounds. He can be a deep ball threat with speed and size, and he can be a mismatch for a lot of DBs out there. Staying in the Big 12 Conference for this next player, we're going to be talking about one of the new teams in UCF and their quarterback, John Rice Plumley. Plumley played his first year at Central Florida in 2022 after spending a few years at Ole Miss primarily as a backup and an athlete. As a starting quarterback for the Golden Knights in 2022, he had a pretty good season, as he threw for a total of 2,586 yards while completing 63% of his passes, 14 touchdowns in the air compared to 8 interceptions, while being very dynamic on the ground, rushing for 862 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry as a quarterback, and accounting for a total of 11 rushing touchdowns. Plumley, in my opinion, is one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the nation and one of the most athletic at that for the quarterback spot on the FBS Division I level. I think he's going to make a huge jump in his game in 2023. Yes, it's going to be his first year as a starting quarterback on the Power 5 level. However, it's also going to be his second year as a starting quarterback, and I feel like he's going to be better with the system. He's going to have more opportunities to make big plays. Having that extra year, the first year of experience as a starter on the FBS level, is away from him now. He's already got that done. He had a pretty good year in 2022. I see him improving quite a bit in 2023. I think he's become overall a better passer, and I think we could potentially see him get over 1,000 rushing yards in the 23 campaign as well. I would definitely keep your eye out on him in the Big 12 in 2023. On to the next player. I'm going to be talking about Minnesota running back Sean Tyler. Sean Tyler has played his entire career at Western Michigan and transferred to Minnesota during this current college football offseason. In his career at Western Michigan, he rushed for a total of 2,830 yards, averaging 5.7 yards a carry, while accounting for a total of 23 touchdowns on the ground and 3 touchdowns through the air. He was a 2-year starting running back for Western Michigan in 2021 and 2022. In both seasons, he rushed for over 1,000 yards and averaged basically 5 yards plus a carry. He averaged 6.5 in 2021 and 4.9 in 2022. In both seasons, he had 9 touchdowns in 21 and 7 touchdowns in 2022, being a highly productive back in the MAC conference. Some may think this is a stretch, but I believe he was one of the best players in the transfer portal class this year, and I believe this is a massive get for Minnesota. He was originally committed to Oklahoma State in the transfer portal, and I even made a video about the transfer portal, and he was in it while he was committed to Oklahoma State about 6 months ago, but now he's at Minnesota, and I think this is a great move for him, as Minnesota has been proven over the last few seasons to be a very run-heavy team, and they just lost their star running back to the NFL in Muhammad Ibrahim. And of course, it's going to open up a lot of carries. He's going to have to compete for that RB1 spot, obviously. Nothing is ever given. But in this offense, with how Minnesota's been with their run offense these last few seasons, I see Sean Tyler potentially having his best year of his college football career if he is truly going to be that workhorse running back for the Minnesota Gophers in 2023. Switching over to the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to be talking about Oregon State defensive back Ryan Cooper Jr. And honestly, there's a lot of players you can talk about that are underrated on that defense heading into 2023 from Oregon State. But today, I'm going to be talking about Ryan Cooper Jr. In his first year at Oregon State in 2022 as a JUCO transfer, he appeared in 13 games in which he had 45 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, and 11 pass deflections. He was number 4 in the Pac-12 for interceptions and number 2 for pass deflections. He had a really good campaign, and I would say a breakout campaign, breaking on to the FBS scene at Oregon State, and he even was an All-Pac-12 honorable mention and a Phil Steele All-Pac-12 third-team member. Oregon State just had their first 10-win season since 2006 for their 2022 campaign, going 10-3 with a Las Vegas Bowl win. And honestly, they're one of those teams in the Pac-12 that you cannot sleep on for 2023 to be an actual contender. And if you're going to be looking at that good defense that they have, you're going to have to look at one of their defensive backs in Ryan Cooper Jr. All I got to say, look out for him in 2023 in the Oregon State Beavers. For the final player in today's video, I'm going to be talking about linebacker from North Carolina, Power Eccles. Eccles is coming off a breakout 2022 campaign in which in 14 games played for the Tar Heels, he had 103 total tackles, 70 of which being solo, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble, which got him to be an All-ACC honorable mention. When looking at his stats compared to the NCAA and the ACC Conference, in 2022, he was number 10 in the NCAA for solo tackles, number 3 in the ACC, he was number 6 in the ACC for total tackles, and number 10 in the ACC for interception return yards. If Eccles keeps on improving his game like he did from 2021 to 2022, we could see a second team to first team All-ACC member for the Tar Heels at that linebacker position for Power Eccles in the 2023 campaign. And who knows, I would say even an All-American honor would be in the potential for a player like Power Eccles. He's someone that I'm very high on. I think he has a lot of high potential, and I would definitely keep a lookout for him in 2023. Well, guys, if you made it this far in today's video, drop something down in the comment section below. Who do you believe are some underrated players heading into the 2023 college football season? And before you head out, remember to smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. B. Kelly out.